Welcome to Waste Wednesday. We go live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and we take junk that we are going to discard or that we found on the side of the road, and we turn it into stuff that we sell at JamiRayVintageHome.com or decorate in our shop or put in our house. So tell them what we have, Zeb.
So these were listed as free on Marketplace. They were just sitting in front of someone's house in boxes and boxes. They had tons. I'm assuming they're like staircase. What are those called?
Banisters,
balusters. Balusters. There you go.
But the weird thing is, like, they're new in plastic.
Yeah, they're
but
still
they're
wrapped.
from the 70s, based off of the boxes. So somebody was a contractor or a hoarder in the 70s, and they decided to clean out their garage, and we were the benefit. And we have them in a ton of different sizes. So we're going to be painting them up. And Zeb, where did you get this wood from?
So this is just one by common board. It was left over from the stair treads that we were. There were the risers that go up underneath the stair treads, and I just cut them into small squares and routed the edge. Took about 10 minutes this morning to do 8 or 9 of them, and then this is leftover 2x6 from building the roof that I had sitting around, and I did the same
that roof
thing.
was hot. Hopefully my makeup's good. I had to drop my dad off for surgery this morning at 5 a.m. So I did my makeup at like 4:30, and then because of the situation, we had to drop him off and bounce. So I went back home, went back to bed, and then I rolled out of bed about 8:30 and came here. So this is 4 a.m. makeup and hair.
He should be getting out of surgery at about 10:30, so about half an hour into this, he'll be getting out.
My mother-in-law, her hip surgery went good, so thanks everybody for the prayers. She is in recovery, and my sister-in-law, Mariah, who you guys all know, she's going in this afternoon for surgery, so it is the cutting day. Everybody's getting new stuff. And Zeb has new teeth. Show him your smile. These are the permanents.
These are the permanent ones.
Have you guys ever seen Ross?
From Friends.
From Friends. Zeb keeps making the face like Ross from Friends because they're like super, super white.
I can't open this.
Are you struggling?
The plastic wrap from the 70s is strong.
Sorry, my chat went out, so I'm just going to pull it back up here.
Oh, guys, if you're channel members, we have new emojis. I think I did 5 or 6 of them.
Okay, we're losing
so check
the
those
feed.
out. Oh,
so
bummer.
I don't know what's going on. Let me do off Wi-Fi. Do you want to switch off of Wi-Fi there, Zeb?
I'll go and see if I can.
I'll do this. You do that because I'm not. My arm's
It looks like it's streaming good up there. I haven't had the circle of doom.
Just do it.
All right.
I know. Odelia's getting it too. Sorry.
YouTube has been having problems with live sales recently.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on, YouTube. Be our friend. All right.
We'll see.
And we are back. All right.
Well, if you missed it, I was saying we have new emojis. So if you're a channel member, you get a little bird by your name. Try those out. There's like some sheep. There's some sheep with some hearts. There's I think a chicken with some hearts. A pig with heart eyes.
The messy bun is my favorite. So the messy bun is mine. We have a question. If you're having problems with buffering, oh gosh, yep, it's on mine too.
It might be YouTube, because now we're on LTE and I'm showing I'm fine.
Yep, we're
Like
gonna try
I have
that.
strong signal.
Thinking.
You know what? Why don't we stop this one?
While we stop this.
I'll delete it and we'll start over. A little
on.
late.
Wait. It's working now,
It's working now.
but I don't know. Okay, let me see if I can see myself do this.
You might be behind.
I can see myself. Yep, it's good. All right.
We'll just go. We'll go with it.
All right.
It's time to get into crafting. So what we're going to do, I have these squares cut out because these are kind of cool without them. And the fat ones almost look like they're meant to be candlesticks. But we're going to add a base to them to kind of give them a little more dimension, a little bit of a bottom versus the top on these.
Well, I
Because these are
actually
the
think
same.
the fat ones are fine as is. I don't think I would mess with it. So
I'm not
if
gonna
you're still
lie.
having issues, hop out and hop back in because mine is working fine on my phone.
First thing I think of this when I see it is like a TIE fighter.
Well, you are wearing a Star Wars shirt. And
Same time of day.
this is a shirt from JamiRayVintageHome.com. It is the green and white striped shirt and free shipping on all clothes. So if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check it out. I like this one because it's oversized And Crescent Moon Cottage says she loves your shirt. I think that shirt's from the Walmart, which means I bought it like a million years ago because I don't shop at Walmart often.
You got it for me to wear as a pajama shirt, and I wear it all over the place.
Well, pajamas. Did I buy you in Harrington one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jasmine had a question. I don't know if we know the answer.
Oh, Donna
to
says
it.
she has this shirt and it's super comfy. It is. I kind of want to get different colors. What Jasmine says, if I use chalk spray paint, I've never used chalk spray paint. So I'm going to stop right there because I do not know. Will it get the same effect as spray paint or lacquer? So I don't know. That I would assume maybe it would work like regular spray paint, but chalk spray paint's really matte. And you need some resistance. So that's why we use a shiny spray paint or a lacquer to put underneath the milk paint. So, I don't know.
Okay.
Tony says, I just placed another order from JRB Closet this morning. Whoop whoop.
So I just have the square here and the square block of wood. I'm going to use one of the routed ones. I didn't router all of them because, in farmhouse, sometimes simple is better. So I think that might also look good.
Yeah, no.
You don't like it? You
like
like
it.
the routed ones
Well,
better?
this one would be okay. That one's got like.
Oh, that one's got some chunk.
The shirt the polka dot shirt I actually wore after family pictures because I sweat through the shirt I was wearing, but we do have the polka dot shirt on the website as well. So check that out. I think it's like $20.99 with free shipping for that one. Thank you, Jasmine. She's giving everybody tips if they're having problems with the internet. Just so everybody knows, we have zero control over that.
Yeah, and we buy the best internet we can have.
We pay for the hottest, most expensive internet available in our area, so we try.
Oftentimes, it's not an internet problem, it's a YouTube struggling this morning.
But let's say nice things about YouTube, because maybe YouTube can hear us.
I'm sure they can, they're always listening.
They're always listening.
Okay, so I put an X on here, right down the center, and I've got my countersink bit on the drill. The one I love to use so that I can put plugs into things.
Oh, Faith Chick 777 DIY by Design. For a flat brush, I love, we carry DIY brushes, and the Smooth Talker, bomb. It's like a 2-inch flat brush. It's got the synthetic bristles, and it's amazing. I love it. When it's clean, I always use it.
All right, I'm drilling. Okay, and that's what you want. You want it to come through a little bit and sink down in there. That way, if you do need to plug it with the wood plug, you can.
So I'm wondering, if you didn't have balusters, because you didn't find them free on Marketplace like us, could you use table legs?
That's, yeah,
or
table
chair
legs. Table legs, chair legs.
Bed posts.
Yeah, bed posts especially. All those things work really well. Just cut them down, make a little base, done. And I use the router on this, and just a Roman OG bit is what I use to get this design. OG is spelled O-G-E-E.
But we already have soap at JamiRayVintageHome.com, and our favorite soap scent for men is probably Ocean Air. So try Ocean Air. It smells really, really good.
And then now I'm gonna just take this.
Anne's using autocorrect and it's making her swear. Trish says she wants a router now. The Roman OG bit is probably hands down the most used bit on our router.
Yep.
So definitely, if you can only buy one, get that one. Zeb looks different for some reason. Tiffany, he got new teeth.
Yep, I got my teeth done. I ground them down to tiny little bitty teeth, and
Little baby teeth.
I was on the verge of having to get dentures, and I found a dentist that would work with me, and he sent me to get Invisalign because I couldn't use traditional braces because there wasn't enough teeth to put them on. And they got that set up for me, fixed my bite, and then capped all 14 of my upper teeth.
We need you to buy paint, guys. I'm just kidding. We actually saved for a long time knowing that this was coming. And the dentist was awesome. Even though it was quite expensive, he only required half up
I
front.
told him I would give him a shout out. Mon Dentistry in Orem.
Maughan.
They're awesome. I went to like 5 different dentists and everybody's like, nah, let's just pull them all and get you dentures.
Yeah, they were going to give up
not
on
even
Mon
40.
Dentistry. And Mon was like, I will not do it unless you get braces, because if he didn't get braces, they would have just all broke. And he took half up front, and then we're making payments for the rest of the half.
Disclaimer, I don't know that he does that deal for everybody.
Oh yeah, no. It's also because we have been going to them for years and we pay them monthly for our dental plan, and we also pay upfront for everything we've ever done, and we've always been like.
All right, time out. I gotta drill this. Okay, now you can go.
Oh, thought they looked like new crowns. Looks great.
Yep, they're all.
And
they're
don't
all
ever go
capped.
for dentures unless absolutely necessary. Yeah, you know, if we couldn't have afforded it, dentures would have been a less expensive option. But since he's not
But
even
then
40,
I would have had to
that's
do.
a long time.
Yeah, and then I would have had to do like if I wanted real teeth again, I would have had to do implants, which
And that would
is.
have been real spendy. All right, so I like the smaller base on this one. Can you
Okay.
pass me the little black dress? Did you grab a brush first, sweetie?
Little
Did you grab
black
one?
dress. I had brushes, but I don't know where they're at.
Okay. Faith Chick works in the dental field. Awesome. What kind of paint do you carry? So we use DIY paint. This is a clay-based paint. This is what I'm doing for my first coat. If you're interested, we have playlists all about the DIY paint and the milk paint, and we're going to be using both today. So we're using DIY for a good dark base on these, and then we're going to be using Sweet Pickens milk paint in flour sack. And that's going to make them all chippy, and we're going to make them look old and decrepit. So we're going to be using both paints that we carry. So if you haven't watched us paint before, today's a good day because you're going to see all the things. The nice thing is that clay-based paint is 5 times more pigmented than regular paint. So this goes on nice and thick, and especially on this raw wood, we're going to be one and done as far as full coverage goes for this. So I love that. It's all natural, so we don't have to wear a mask. We can use it inside. And the DIY paint is really easy to wash off if you get it on yourself or clothes. Milk paint's a little bit harder, but they are water-based, so you can wash them off your brush. Don't leave your brush soaking for too long because these are all natural. So if you leave your brush soaking for a long time, the all-natural stuff, after a few days will start to smell like rotten broccoli.
We're speaking from experience.
Ask me how I know. Oh, thank you. And Odelia's on there dropping links to the website for JamiRayVintage.com, which is where we carry all of our paint products, stencils, everything you need for your projects. And then JamiRayVintageHome.com is where you can buy your home decor and clothing. So thanks for the question. I forget that we have a lot of new subs, so I usually don't want to like bore people to death with commercials, but I do want you to know where you can get this awesome products. You cannot pick up this paint at Home Depot or Amazon. So.
All right.
Oh, Crescent Moon says she's so hard on brushes. I am definitely hard on brushes. So we carry Paint Pixie brushes, DIY, and Zebra. And then of course we have our JRV stencil brushes that are made just for us.
So I'm gonna do another one. You might hear drilling a little bit for a while because I'm gonna put some of these together so we can get 4 or 5 of them painted.
Zeb could grind these down, but he has a custom night guard being made.
Yep.
So he won't.
Well, and
be
they
able to-
changed my bite. Before, my teeth went right on top of each other instead of overlapping like this. And so it was real easy to just like work on them all night long. And I've had night guards before. I'm such an aggressive sleeper, I've pulled them out. So that's why they changed
He is
my
an
bite.
aggressive sleeper. I can attribute to that. Like this morning, was it this morning? He crawled into bed after he took Eliza to cheer, and I had just got back from the hospital, dropping my dad off for surgery. And I was like, just get into bed and don't flop around, because Zeb gets into bed and he like has to flop around until he's exact. By the time he's comfortable, I am wide awake.
I'm like a bear getting ready to hibernate. I just, it takes a while to get into position, and then when you're ready, you just sleep all night.
And when I get into bed, I just get into bed, I roll over on my side, throw my arm over my head, and I'm out. We're gonna have to get those old people beds that adjust. My parents are getting them for their room when they move into the farmhouse. Like, we're gonna need to buy those times too. Maybe we could get a brand deal.
I really like the big flat bed. I don't think I'm gonna go for
Well,
that.
that's because you like to just snuggle up on my side and then you waller me like a bear.
Don't be so snuggly and I won't come over.
Well, I can't help it. All right. This one's all painted.
It also doesn't help that, like, if I'm not in the bed, Jamie likes to wrap herself up in the blanket like a burrito, and then I'm like, what blanket do I use?
Because, when you're not in bed, I get cold. You're a heater, so when you're in bed, I don't need a blanket. In fact, when we were in France, we were the only married couple with all of our friends. They all froze to death, and I was like, yep, I was fine. All right, let's see. Is there a delay on paint orders? Some orders are being delayed a little bit because DIY is still about 5 weeks out for us. But we do have a huge paint stock. So majority of
That's not
orders
what
go
you
out
want.
within a few days, and no delay on anything that's not DIY. So if there's something you need right away, you could just email customercare@jamirayvintage.com and we could check stock because we do have a big stock.
Well, I will be taking this one back to the hardware store where I got it. I just broke my countersink bit.
Oh, didn't we just buy those?
Yeah, I just got a new one.
Oh, okay. Donna bought this shirt in a medium and it's nice and loose. She can wear with leggings. Yeah, this is a small, but these are made to be like loose and free, which I love because I've been stress eating lately and I don't need anything tight right now. Let's see. My new love is Bohemian Blue and Queen Bee.
Oh,
Neat.
nice.
Those are pretty colors, Jane. I would say if you guys are wanting paint, definitely order it because we ship it like the second it comes out. If we've been waiting on something, we know when the paint's coming and we will schedule our shippers to be there as soon as it's delivered and we get that paint out. So don't blame us. We're getting the paint out. Blame DIY. Just kidding. I love Debbie.
It's out of her control. It's not
Yeah.
It's not even her fault.
Nope, it's not. It's manufacturer. But luckily for us, like we keep so much paint in stock that we have so many things on hand.
I
So.
think this one, this bigger, fatter
Oh
one.
no, Les had a bad day. They got flooded backyard and basement.
Oh, man.
Get that shop back out. I'm so sorry. That's miserable. Zeb's brother Abe had some basement flooding and they had to do a French drain. We actually did a French drain all the way around the addition and that was a lot of work, but hopefully it'll keep any flooding out of our crawl space.
Hopefully. It should. I mean, we have a 4-foot foundation wall
Let's see.
there. It would take a lot
Yeah,
of
Pam
water.
Clayton, he is using a Roman OG bit.
Yeah, so Roman OG was the bit on this.
Now, just a disclaimer, if you're painting something that's shiny, you're not gonna get the one coat coverage the way that you will on something raw. Because what happens, if you think about it, you put it on something shiny and it kind of resists the paint, and so you'll get kind of streaks, so you have to come back and do a second coat to fill that in. Whereas this is raw, and because this paint is so pigmented, it will cover it in one coat. So definitely anything raw just gets like super awesome coverage. I'm ready for number 2. I'm waiting.
Oh, I have some done.
Oh, sorry. You didn't hand it this way.
Sorry.
I'm gonna get 2 done, and then as soon as that first one dries, I'll come back with the milk paint. When you're done with that, would you mix me up some milk paint?
Yep. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of eyeballing the center on the top here. I could measure this out, but you know, it's easier to eyeball.
Where did you get your router? I think his first one we bought from a pawn shop.
Yeah, I got it from a pawn shop for like $30. I have 2. One of them is just an inexpensive Ryobi one. It works great. It's like a 2 horsepower or 1.5 or something like that. And I want to get a plunge router because you can do really cool stuff with those, but I haven't sprung for it yet.
We have many, many tools. The same goes for me and my crafting. I have to have all the things because I have to make videos with them. Zeb is a lucky man because he has to have all the tools because he has to have them for videos. So we have an excuse.
Okay, there's another one. Look how good this looks just painted black. When we two-tone it, it's going to be awesome.
Oh, you guys, are you using the new emojis? Somebody please use the messy bun emoji. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're a channel member, you get custom emojis. And Zeb this morning, how many new emojis did you
I
add?
think I added 5.
5 new emojis for channel members. And we took 2 weeks off, but we are back. We did business coaching for the first time in August yesterday. And next Tuesday at 10 a.m. will be our first channel membership live video for regular channel members at 10 a.m. And then we'll do our business coaching at 2 p.m. So if you're a channel member, watch out for that.
There's some messy buns.
Oh,
Oh,
there
someone
we
used
go.
all of them. Tammy.
There comes the emojis. We got chickens.
Can you read it? Underneath it says messy bun, get it done.
Mary says, love that Odelia takes after her mama's heart. She's a good girl. She said the other day she's going to take over the business. I was like, you're going to have to fight Jack and Eliza. Maybe Redrick, he's less interested, but Jack and Eliza, they're makers. Redrick might be as he gets older. Harrington wants to have his own car business, I think. I could picture him having like an exotic used car lot, like where he buys cars, like mixes them up.
He's really into cars right now. We'll see where he's at in 10 years.
I mean, I feel like that's something that guys kind of like forever. Like, you like cars.
Oh yeah.
Zeb
Yeah.
knows way more about my vehicles than I do. I'm like, I drive it, and I roll down the window when I get fast food. That's what I know about it.
All
Every day I
right.
find out something new about my car that it does that I didn't know.
Okay, so I've got a tall one here, and I've got a big base and a little base, and I'm gonna stack them together.
So Jasmine says, if I could take a picture of what I look like right now, painting a small thrifted lockbox and dome trunk using JRB grain sack stencils and IOD transfers. All right, so Janine needs help. She can't find the member icons. Can anybody describe how you find the emojis where they're at? I actually don't know because I don't use them.
So there's a little smiley face down. See the smiley?
Oh, hit the smiley face to the left of the chat, Janine.
Yep, it's in the chat bar if you're on your phone or a tablet. If you're on a computer, it's over in the chat on the side. You have to minimize the screen.
Let's see.
And if you're on a TV, you're out of luck. You can't chat on TVs.
Denise says that her hair isn't long enough for Messy or Bun, but if it was, it would be Bessie. Sometimes, like you guys, my bun is so tall that I have to push my seat down in my Expedition. I was like, oh, Messy Bun is on point today. It's got lots of height. I find it comical. All right.
Oh, I did that backwards. I didn't want to do it like that. I don't know if my screw will go that deep in there.
Les, the wooden pillars we got off of Facebook Marketplace for free. They are banisters, but you could do the same thing with old bedposts or chair rungs or table legs, especially if you guys find broken furniture. If you ever find broken furniture and it's got turned pieces, salvage the turned pieces and save them because you will find endless uses for them. I have used old crib parts to make ladders. I have made tons of fun salvage. Cherry picking, I believe we have a stockist in Germany. I don't know if we have one in the UK yet for our stencils. But if you go to jrdwholesale.com, I believe there is a stockist list on there. And you can find, we have over 100 retailers, I believe now. And not all of them are in the US, so hopefully I will help. It says, Rachel says, is there a router that's easy to use? Oh, thanks, Caitlin. She dropped a link to the retailer map. Is there a router that's easy to use? We found one in the garage attic after 3 years living here. Which is the easiest? Probably the Ryobi.
So they're all pretty much, I mean, a plunge router is going to be like your highest skill level because you push it down and then you move it in the shape you want and things like that. A traditional fixed router, you just adjust your height or your depth, and then if you have a router table, you can attach that to that and just push the pieces across. Or if you want to, let's say I was just going to use this piece of wood here, I would clamp it to the table, and then if you want to freehand it, you can just freehand it with the router across.
Zeb took
It's pretty simple.
an old podium that I got for free somewhere, and he turned the podium into his router table.
I did. Well, you weren't using it. It was in the
Waste not,
garage.
want not. Well, I was like, what am I going to do with this podium?
It was in the garage for like, I don't know.
I think it came from like a storage unit haul that I had
Almost
bought.
a year.
Yeah,
was
we
in
had
the
it for a
garage.
while. But when you're done with that, would you make me up some milk paint though? Because I think we're just about ready to milk paint these.
So I did this backwards. I wanted to nail this into this piece and screw this piece into this piece, and I just nailed this down because I was excited about my project.
These were free? Yes. We actually got probably over $1,000 in free product. This is nothing. Like we happened to be swimming with Caitlin, and we just got done, and my friend tagged me in a post about, it had been about an hour since we've been swimming, so I didn't know if they'd be left, but it was in the same town that Caitlin lives in. So normally I wouldn't drive that far because it's probably like 15, 20 minutes away because I'm lazy. But I was like, you know what, we're already here, let's go find it. And Zeb and I went, and they had so much, but we had the car full of all the kids because we've been swimming. So there was like boxes of these in the back, under people's feet, on people's laps, and we have these really tall ones that I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them yet. I was thinking I could make some cool signs, like put it in a bucket and then make signs that come out. But anyways, those were in, luckily we have bucket seats in the Expedition, so we had those in between the bucket seats because every seat was full in the car. So it was good. It was a good day. It was definitely worth the stop. I had no idea that there would be so much goodness. So we are going to have, what we're going to do is we're going to make quite a few of these, and then we will count them up and put them in inventory on the website. We'll count up how many they have. So we do have quite a few, but the numbers are limited, so when they're gone, they'll be gone.
All right, so that's what I wanted to do.
And these will sell. These are big. So this one here will probably sell for about, this is a big fat one, like $39.95 for this size. All the way down to probably like 22-ish for this size, and then maybe like $18.95 for this size, candlestick wise. I need to price them against other candlesticks to make sure that they're priced fairly.
I don't know. These are probably like a $12.95. They're not
$12.95?
much. They're not much bigger than a rolling pin. If we put a base on them, maybe 13.
Okay, but just to give you an idea of like price point for these, and you know, if you were selling them in a high-end store, they might be worth more. And honestly, if you were just gonna buy these balusters, they would probably sell for quite a bit.
Just raw wood, they're probably about 30 or 40 for the long ones.
Exactly. But definitely don't think you're gonna go out and buy balusters and do this. You gotta find them secondhand or reused, because buying them new, it definitely, you're not gonna make a profit unless you charge more money.
What do you think about on this one here doing, ooh, I like that.
Jan says, I don't dare get on Marketplace. I could be there all day. You know what? Marketplace is a toilet browser for me. So if I happen to take a minute to go to the bathroom, I always browse Marketplace. Or if I'm dropping or waiting for a kid to be done with a sporting event. So I don't let myself just randomly browse it, but I'm on there enough that I usually can snag some good stuff. And when people know what you do, you don't even have to go on Marketplace. They just tag you. So that works out well. Cartson Millie says, I'm the same, Jamie. Yeah, I would not have seen these if I had not been tagged. In fact, they were listed on a page that I don't even belong to, so I'm not sure how I saw the tag. But
this one came out cool. Look at that.
Like that one, Zeb. Oh, I like the top on that. That's cool. I'm wondering, should we do more tops on these? Or...
I didn't router enough.
Okay. Well, we'll see what winds up getting done before tomorrow's stay-at-home shopping network.
I think they're big enough. I mean, this one can hold a big candle on the top of it if you want to use them for that.
We're going to have a ton of handmade stuff because Camry's out there making, we found a box of wood plank signs from our Pinners Conference days. And Camry, that's Jean's daughter, works for me. And she's doing what she calls college corner. So the girls that are going back to college that make stuff for us, they're making a bunch of product for us to sell before they leave. So she's making me a bunch of fall signs, first day of school signs. She did a really good job. Having fun. And it's funny because Camry is pre-med. She's very, very smart. And so she's always like calculating. Like right now she's using black velvet because we have quite a bit of it in stock. And she's like, then if people see it and want to make their own, they'll use the paint color that we have in stock. Same reason we used water lily the other day, because we have quite a bit of water lily in stock. So, and she ships for me, so she knows exactly what we have a ton of. You could put birdhouses on top too. That would be cute.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we
like
have any birdhouses. Those
you know,
sell
we find
so fast.
so many of those at the thrift store.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm actually going to go thrifting early this week because Caitlin and I have this plan that we're going to list things before our thrift haul. That way she doesn't do emails and people can just find it when we do the actual thrift haul. I feel like that's brilliant. That's what we're going to try. We're going to try to go early. I'm standing on the ledge of this bar stool, so hopefully I don't fall.
So this is Sweet Pickins in flour sack. We're not going to add any bond to it. It comes in powder form. It's a true milk paint. This is bio-certified food safe. So if you need to use it or use it to make a stain for like a butcher block or a table or a rolling pin, we use that all the time. Cutting boards. So I've just got a little bit in here. It's eyeball it Wednesday.
Eyeball it Wednesday. Waste not Wednesday, eyeball it Wednesday. All right, I'm gonna move this my.
Usually you mix it up 1 part water to 1 part paint. And then if you're adding extra bond, you do 2 parts paint to 1 part extra bond.
Okay, so Valerie says, is there a story behind Redrick's name? Wondering if anybody naming baby boys Redrick. So there is. All of our kids, their first and middle names are all family names, except for Redrick. His middle name is a family name, and it's Baird, which is Zeb's mother's maiden name. And we intended to call, because Harrington is my maiden name, and that's his first name, and we call him Harrington. We thought, well, We like to have 3 syllables in the first name, so Rederick. And Baird is not 3 syllables, so we tried to look up.
Jack is the exception.
Yeah, Jack's the exception. He's the exception in everything. His 3 syllables like Jack Melvin. But anyways, I digress. We looked up names that went with Baird that were Celtic, and we saw Redrick, and we just really loved it. So we're like, we'll name him Redrick Baird, and we'll just call him Scottish.
It's close.
It's in the, I mean, they're very close together. At any length, we thought we'd call him Baird, and then after he was born, we started calling him Redrick, and it was like, he was like 6 weeks old, and we're like, oh, we were going to call him Baird.
He's a Redrick.
So he's a Redrick, and he's the only one that has a name that's not.
You know, it works out really well. All of his football buddies just call him Red. So we're like, all right, that works.
Yeah. So, oh, I like the double bass on this. This one's fancy.
Yeah, that's got a double bass and a top.
This is like
and
a
it's tall.
44.95er, man. It's all kinds of fancy.
I'll have to cut a lot. I have scrap wood for days. Like, we're on the verge of having to give it away to the neighbors for fire pits.
Yeah, we try to save what we can, but then you become hoarders.
So immersion blender is your way to go on this if you want it really creamy. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of chunks in it. Warm water is also best when you're mixing milk paint if you're trying to get it really nice and smooth. We don't mind the chunks. We're going to sand these and distress them, so if we do have little clumps of powder that didn't get mixed up, it's not a big deal. It's going to get sanded smooth anyway, and it's going to be awesome.
So we could also, if we wanted to, put some sealer on these to create some extra resist, but we're just going to go for it because these are raw wood. This paint is soaking down into the wood as opposed to sitting on top of it. So I'm hoping that we'll get the two-tone look without having to seal it. Now, what we might not get as much chipping and crackle.
That's not quite dry.
Yeah, you might want to get
I'm getting a gray.
Yeah. I was called red in school because of my red hair. I hated it. Aw, Jane. I think red hair is awesome. And it's so hard to get fake. Like, you can be a fake blonde, but to be a fake redhead, it's hard. I think they only call him red, like, on his football team.
Yeah, everybody
my
else.
father-in-law, see, I don't shorten any of my kids' name. My father-in-law just thinks it's real funny, so he shortens all my kids' names. So we got Red. Odelia he calls Odie, which I'm like, that's the stupid dog from Garfield. Don't call my gorgeous daughter Odie. Although it is a nickname from dance. When she used to do competitive dance, they called her Odie. So some people still call her that. My sister calls her Odie Rose, which at least she adds the rose. That's pretty. But I call all my kids by their whole names. Everybody thought for sure Harrington would get shortened up, but he's lived up to every letter in his 10-letter name. Is he even awake today?
He's working at the farmhouse. He's putting those shingles in the trailer that we peeled off yesterday,
Okay.
and if he gets done with that, he's gonna start peeling off more.
Harrington leaves tomorrow for Nebraska, but first he has to get a physical because he's only had 4 months to do it, and I'm not the kind of mom that follows up on that stuff because he's a big boy. Turns out he didn't have his physical
Well,
for
he
sports.
told me he had. He told me he
He
had it
says he
done.
didn't, so I don't know.
He also said he didn't take my Xbox controller I told him not to take, and that's mysteriously missing. It's already packed up into his car.
I told him we were going to do a look. We found out yesterday because he's an athlete, he gets, and because he's going to be the heavyweight, he gets unlimited meals with his school plan. So I was like, dang. I thought school was going to be expensive because I thought I was going to have to send him food, but
She was
turns out
planning on supplementing his meal schedule.
I'm going to save money. Even
Yeah.
after I paid my portion of his tuition because it covers his food plan. They didn't know when they offered him unlimited what they were getting into. The nutritionist will probably, though, set for him what he
Yeah,
should be.
each sport has their own nutritionist, so he'll meet with them and they'll get him dialed in and keep him
And
healthy.
he's still going to eat cereal in his giant bowls, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Jane says she loves her red hair. She didn't like being called red. I like my name Jane. I get that. You know what, Jane? I grew up where I was in a border town. I was literally the only white girl. When I say I was the only white girl, I am not exaggerating. I was it. And not only was I the only very pigmentally challenged person, I was named Jami, which in Spanish is Jaime and is not unisex, only a boy's name. So they thought it was so funny to call me Jaime, and I guess I was okay. I just wound up not caring, so it made me very not sensitive to things and super confident because I was like, whatever, you can call me Jaime all day long and I'm still cool. So, did you get teased about anything growing up?
No.
No. Were you always the biggest?
I was the oldest kid and large for my age.
Nobody messed with you?
Yeah. Didn't have any issues.
Well, it's alright. You came out okay anyways. Yeah, Jane says you get to the point of not caring. True that. It either bothers you and really hurts you, or you just don't care. Did I just hit your...
Yeah, it's alright. I was leaning in close. Just the hat.
Just the hat, okay.
This little black dress is so pigmented, it's still wanting to drag a little on this milk paint. I'm getting like a fun blended grayish kind
Have
of
you
color.
painted anything with the Farm Fresh black milk paint? I have painted with Lantern, which is the same, only milk paint. And it has very, very good coverage. It's very smooth and lays very, very flat. Paula, our words aren't matching. Well, that's a YouTube thing, so I'm sorry.
Hop in and out and see if it fixes it. If it doesn't, then
Look away.
wait until it uploads and you can catch the replay. That usually
Can
will
Harrington
fix
set
it.
up a YouTube channel so fans can follow him? Harrington's very private, so.
He, he's warmed up to being on our channel, just working at the farmhouse. I'm like, hey, if you're gonna work here, you're gonna be caught on camera every now and then. And he's like, all right, whatever.
Oh,
But he's not gonna actively go into it. It's like, since he was about 3, it's been a real struggle even to get family pictures or individual pictures of him.
I think that it's his way of rebelling, though. Like, I'm not gonna be on your channel. I'm not gonna do YouTube. But maybe he'll turn around. Tomorrow will be tough. I think so. Actually, I think tomorrow will be fine. I feel like maybe in a month it'll be tough.
I'm gonna miss him the very first time I have to lift something heavy.
What? I got the gun show.
Yeah,
I just peed her out real quick.
Odelia was at the farmhouse yesterday, and she handed me a bunch of big boards up on top of the roof. So I'm like, oh, that works.
Hey, Odelia's a cheerleader base. She has to lift girls up all day. She's really strong. She just wishes she was a little taller. She's short, but strong.
All right, that one's got good enough coverage for one coat. Do you want to heat gun that and see?
Odelia says you have me. Hey, Odelia, what time did you have cheer?
11:30. 11:30.
Oh. Okay.
You want to heat gun that and see if we
Can
can get
you-
some chippy, or do you want to second coat it? After
Am
you
I
heat
fluent
gun it?
in Spanish? I used to be. I can understand it and I can
She
speak it.
is. She just is like shy about it.
No, I'm out of practice. I don't speak Spanish very often. I can read it.
She's so good at Spanish that, like, when we were in France, she's like, oh, this is a lot like Spanish. And she was figuring out words and things like that. And, like, Italian stuff is the same.
How's my family's medical stuff going? Well, I don't know about my dad. He should be out by now. I'll find out when we're not live. And my mother-in-law came out of surgery, and it went well as far as we know. And Mariah is having surgery later this afternoon. So far so good.
It's going well.
Oh, Odelia says I need to get lunch or something since we're only getting a snack break. Odelia, there's Easy Mac above the microwave.
It's funny that she's talking to us through the text and the chat because she's just in the other room. She's very polite. She's trying not to interrupt.
Yeah, my kids' names are all family names, Heather. Odelia is a very popular southern name. She's named after my aunt, who is Willie Odelia. But it's an older southern name, so there's not a lot of younger people named that. Oh,
Does
they
that
said-
hang over too much on this one? It's like barely
Yes,
hanging over the
that
edge.
looks weird.
All right.
So somebody said you should get college dorm living, you should get dorm insurance. It's cheap to get online. Our nephew had many things disappear. Here's the thing about my son Harrington. He's kind of the top of the food chain, so people probably aren't going to take his stuff. I wouldn't.
I don't know. I told him to guard his passwords with his life on
Yes.
his computer.
Guard his passwords for sure, but that is a good idea. I'll mention it to him. He doesn't listen to anything I say though, because I don't know anything. him and all of his buddies that are on his side of the dorm they put all the wrestlers together, so they've already all pitched in for a big screen TV so they can watch sports, because apparently one of the buddies that's on the wrestling team their parents have the sports package, and so they're going to log into that sports package on their joint TV, because they're going to be in Seward, Nebraska. It's not like there's not a lot going on in Seward.
There might be more than you think.
Oh, a town of 6,000 people.
I think it's up to 15. That was an old census.
Yeah, that's true. It's up to 15. Okay.
It's still a small town. I don't know. I come from a small town, so like I was always busy as a kid and never ran out of things to do. So I don't understand that when people are like, "Oh, there's nothing to do. It's a small town."
There's no forest in Nebraska. Like, where is he gonna camp?
Oh, you can't see over the cornfields, so you're good.
So you're gonna camp in the cornfields? Is that where you camp in Nebraska?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never been to Nebraska. I've flown over it. It's a flyover state.
Cynthia says, Jami, welcome to the world of grown children. He won't be grown officially until the 9th, but he'll have already started college, so.
Where did you go with, what, I'm gonna get a little crazy and do a different color underneath this.
I feel like I'm not, crazy. Why don't you do some,
Actually, I want to go darker than this.
Why don't you do some salt wash?
I can. We have time to mix it up.
Is Harrington living in the dorm? Yes, they're living in the dorm. They have to, as freshmen, their school requires that they live on campus, which I like. But they put all the wrestlers together, so he already knows his roommate. They've already been hanging out, Snapchatting, Zoom calling. They already do team workouts via Zoom. He's been doing his team workouts at the high school because, when you're a BMOC and you've done a lot of high school sports, they let you on campus even after you graduate. His wrestling coach is awesome from high school, even though they didn't always see eye to eye. I noticed that Odelia has not one, but 2 classes with Coach Rice this semester. Coach Rice is funny. He's kind of an acquired taste. So hopefully, I think Odelia and him will get along. I think he'll just enjoy the fact that Odelia is so sweet compared to...
After having Harrington.
Compared to Harrington. Nebraska National Forest is in Halsey. Do they have mountains? Or is it just trees? I don't know. I just think of Nebraska as lots and lots of cornfields, but I don't know.
I don't even know if they grow corn there. I was just saying. They're pretty...
We'll get to Nebraska eventually. We decided not to drop them off to college for 2 reasons. 1, we're busy, and my dad just had surgery today. And 2, because he doesn't really care. And 3, because with all the situation going on, I didn't want to drive there and back, but I also didn't want to fly. I didn't want to get on a plane if I didn't have to. And I told my son, I'm like, I'll just give you what I would have paid in a plane ticket in cash. And he's like, oh, I'll take that. I was like, would you rather have your mommy drop you off to college, or would you rather have $200? And he's like, I'll take the money and give you a hug here. So that's what we're doing. He's very, very independent.
He's not doing the drive all at once. He's gonna stop off and stay the night, and then continue on.
He's not old enough to get a hotel room, so we gotta book it for him.
He can't book his own hotel room yet because next week he turns 18.
Well, Zeb and I got married. We had a hard time finding a rental car because you can't. I don't know if you can get them now, but back in the day you had to be 25. In fact, I remember on our 5-year wedding anniversary, I still wasn't 25, and I had to find a place that would rent to me for my nephew's wedding because I was helping him, but we needed a truck, and I was like, I own 2 houses and I have 2 kids and I cannot rent a car. I thought it was highly ridiculous. Oh, it's still a thing for rental car, and Nebraska does have lots of cornfields. What color are you using, Seth?
This is Bohemian Blue. It's still I decided to go. I was going to break out the salt wash, but I think we'll do that on the next round of candlesticks. I just wanted to try this out real fast and show you guys the contrast from the dark blue to the black.
So I think Harrington is undecided, his major.
Oh no, he's going for business.
Is he doing business for sure?
Yeah, all of his classes. It's all like business classes and statistics and things like that.
So if I was not using a heat gun, this probably would not crackle as much because this is raw wood. So you have a couple of options. You could put lacquer over this to get it to chip and crackle, or just like immediately dry it with a heat gun. If that doesn't work, you can also wet distress it and then use a heat gun. That's a tip that I use a lot with milk paint. And if you don't want it to chip and crackle, you can put it on bond.
So
can you show them this before I sand it?
Yeah, I cheated a little bit with this. I used the same brush that we were using for the little black dress, so it's slightly darker. Ooh, missed a spot.
I haven't sanded it yet.
But you can see how it's like dark and it's starting to lighten up where it's drying. It'll be somewhere in between there when we seal it.
Which red paint is the darkest? Use Marquee. Carnival is more of an orange red.
Can you heat gun that? Oh, I need to put one more little
Jane
dab
says she
over
may
here.
need that candlestick. Well, I'm trying not to make them. I'm trying to make them a little more uniform, and you're
Well,
breaking them all.
we have like 300 of these.
I know, but oh, this is still wet.
Oh, I was gonna show you this.
All right, I'm gonna let this one dry. This one's still wet.
So this may have crackled on its own, but the heat gun kind of forces the issue because it dries it out really fast, kind of like almost like wet mud or wet dirt. When it's muddy, you just hit it. If it's out there in the sun after a rainstorm, it cracks because it dries out too quick.
And I'm gonna sand that. And that's the glory of milk paint, because you get a very authentic aged look that you're not gonna get with just traditional paint. And if you're using a paint called milk paint and it's already pre-mixed, I know General Finishes has one, they sell one at the Walmart. It's not going to be the same, and it is not actually milk paint. I don't know why they call it. Milk paint should always come in a powdered form. We use Sweet Pickens, which is also the same as Old Fashioned. Same company, we sell that as well in the shop. And Farmhouse Finishes. And it is a traditional milk paint. So keep that in mind, because I get a lot of people say, oh, I just bought the milk paint they had at Walmart and it didn't look the same and it didn't do the same. And I was like, it's because it's not the same. Like, I don't even know why they call it milk paint. Does it even have milk in it? I don't know. But the reason why it comes in a powdered form is because it actually has like milk like particles in it. So if you were to have it pre-mixed, it would go bad. Like, you only mix up what you're going to use. So that's how you know it's a real milk paint, if it comes in powder.
Hopefully the sanding isn't too loud over Jamie talking.
No situation concerns. I'm saying situations because I can't say the actual word.
They flag our video if we do.
In Nebraska, they are pretty low on the totem pole as far as situations go. So.
And his school has a bunch of protocols set into place, and the division that the college is in is going forward with all fall and winter sports. So.
And he's not coming to Las Vegas for that tournament. So I'm kind of sad.
That tournament got canceled because we were going to go watch.
I
him
did
down
buy
there.
him like a 30-pack of black masks because I know that he's gonna lose them. Luckily, I get them at wholesale. But yeah, no, not in Nebraska. Utah's actually been doing pretty good with the situation lately. Their numbers are going down, so that's always good. Or at least they were. I haven't checked in a few days. I wonder if there's vegan milk paint. Nope, there's not. No vegan milk paint. Sorry. How far are we from St. George? We are 3.5 hours if you don't stop.
Yeah.
We're going to St. George in September for an adult weekend away with my friends. Deb doesn't always like to do stuff like that. And I told him my birthday's in September. We're actually going for
She pulled the birthday card.
We're going for Christy and Kenny's 40th birthday, and my birthday's in September, and I said all I want for my birthday is for you to go without complaining.
The second part's hard.
Without complaining. And I know you guys think that Zeb never whines or complains, but hell hath no fury like this man when he's forced to do something he doesn't want to do. Well, not forced, you can't force him, but when you ask him to do something. So I was like, okay, listen, I don't need you to buy him anything, I just need you to go without. And he always has a good time. Everybody loves Zeb. It's so funny. They're like, you would never guess that he doesn't like large groups, and I'm like, I know, and he always has a good time.
You fake it till you make it.
I'm letting whatever, you have a good time. And my friend, it's funny because
we've known all these people
we've
forever.
known
We're
them
good
for
friends
years,
with them.
like 10 years. most of them, or 13 years, and a lot of our husbands are not super social, so that it's not like he's gonna have to be with a bunch of social butterflies. The dudes are kind of like low-key and they talk about games, video games that they're playing. They're all kind of like techie type nerds.
It's fine. We're all good friends. I
Yeah.
have a hard time just getting away in general.
He's a workaholic.
I'm like thinking about what my next project is all the time. So
Yeah, I have to schedule our trips to Hawaii, and then just tell them that the tickets are already bought. I can't ask them.
she always surprises me with these long trips.
I'm like, surprise!
Like the
we're
only
Hawaii.
one that I agreed on was France, and that was because,
It was a work trip.
well, and you had never been to Europe before. I'm like, I'm not sending her to Europe by herself.
Oh, Ivana said that was
I
a
had to
joke
go.
about the vegan. I figured Ivana.
I'm going to show you guys this in just a sec. It's getting real good and chippy with this hand sanding. Normally,
Tanya says that her husband is the best complainer in the world. I'm not saying that I never complain, because if I have to go on a car trip, yeah, that's when I whine. And it's usually something we have to do for his family, because for whatever reason, they always got to have things far away. And I'm like, look, I love your family, but being in the car for 10 hours or 13 hours or 24 hours, I hate car trips. And subsequently, my children are no good at them. Oh, that was good. That was way awesome. I like it. All right, I'll do
can
this
you
one
heat
next.
gun this one so that we can show them the difference between the black and the Bohemian blue?
Yep.
I'm just getting the dust off this because the little black dress powdered up underneath.
But it makes it look almost like we black waxed it.
Yeah, it almost is looking like a little bit of glaze.
Yeah, so just know that if you don't seal that black and you sand it, that pigment will work kind of like a decrepit dust, like the brown decrepit dust, and it will kind of dye your outer color. So, we got a question from Rosie. Renee said she might go to Hawaii if her company releases her. Rosie, I'm not. Oh, will you be painting the bottom for a professional finish? No.
Yeah, we might eventually, but I don't like to do it while we're live on camera for sure.
So we sand it so it's nice and clean. But Rosie, can I just tell you a little secret? Most candlesticks that come from the factory, the bottoms are not finished. So
We might put
funny
some
because-
felt on it because that's the way
Yeah,
they come.
we might put some felt on it, but probably not. We'll probably just sand it smooth. Unless somebody, I guess, emails us and says I must have it finished. But honestly, most of the candlesticks you buy aren't painted on the bottom. We do sand it though, so that way it's not got like a weird finish. Oh, Julia, where are you excited to go? To the grand opening? Is that what Odelia's talking about?
To Debbie's grand opening for her new store.
Yeah. Odelia, did you get okay from your coaches to go?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, okay. Because I haven't texted Val yet. My kids are all in season, so leaving is...
All right, you got
not
8
hard.
minutes to finish that because we got to get Odelia to cheer camp.
No, we don't. She's going to go with the Spaldings.
Oh, she's getting a ride.
Yep, I got her right
Then
away.
never mind.
So we have good friends of ours that live right across the street. They used to live in our neighborhood, and their daughter cheers. So a lot of times Odelia comes here to the shop and then catches a ride with them. And they are also, in case there's an emergency, there are safe house. So if anything were to ever happen, like an earthquake or whatever, and we lose power, I mean, obviously we have some things here for emergency preparedness, but not what you would have in a house. They just go across the street and all their family knows where to find them. So it's a great thing. We love the Spaldings.
So what about doing...
And they also own, is it CPS Graphics? CPS?
Yeah.
Is it CPS No.
Yes, I think it is.
Odelia, can you look up their graphics company? They're the one, if you guys ever come to the shop, we have that big vinyl Jami Ray vintage sign. They made that for us and put it on, and they did an amazing job.
What do you guys think of this without the routed edges?
I like it.
Just square on there. I think I'm going to do that one like that.
Oh, Caitlin says it is CPS Graphics.
Yeah,
so.
it is.
So look them up if you're local to Utah, if you need any kind of banner or sign made, and they can actually ship banners very easily. And they help us out a ton here at Jami Ray Vintage. Even just taking Odelia to and from cheer is a huge help. Oh, Tanya said she did a super chat and the money left her account, but it said it didn't work.
Oh, well, thank you, Tanya.
We'll look on our end, Tanya, and let you know what's happening, and if you need to contact YouTube on that. Usually they're pretty good about that. Oh, also, can I give you guys an update? Some of you guys donated to the Navajo Nation Reservation. They said thank you, thank you. We dropped off a ton of water and products that were on their list. And we are getting, I found a lady who actually does ice chests for the homeless in Salt Lake, because her dad has actually been homeless for the last, I think she said 14 years or something, and lives in Salt Lake. And so I'm going to be giving the water to her to contribute to her cost there. So thank you guys. I know we did that a few weeks ago, but we appreciate that. My friend Laura dropped off everything to the reservation. She's like, I should have videoed it because they were super grateful when she dropped it off. But I just appreciated her doing that. We love to give, but sometimes it gets a little crazy, so we're glad for our friends. They help us. Oh, thank you. Odelia just dropped the link for CPS graphics. So if you need a banner or a sign or vinyl made, they're awesome, and they do ship. Just dropped my water bottle on the floor. Ugh. Luckily, it was a baby water bottle. Alright. This I think is going to take a few coats of the white. Ivana says she bets so Ivana has a shop in Salt Lake, and she's like, I see the homeless people all the time. Ivana, do you ever set out stuff for them? Because if you do, I would love to get you some food and water. It's so hot right now. And then because of the situation, I know they've shut off a lot of the water fountains. Les said she was afraid for Harrington scraping off the roof. Les, then you don't want to know what he goes and does on the weekends with his buddies climbing mountains.
They free climb cliffs. I'm like, dude, stop it. But he's 17, almost 18. He's not going to stop it.
Yeah, he's not going to stop.
He's not going to stop because Dad told him, I'll tell you that.
So the roof is actually, it's safe for him to be there. Or he goes longboarding down Provo Canyon.
Yeah. Like, if you break your arm before wrestling season, that's on you, buddy. Because I told you no.
He can't even do, like, they weren't even allowed to go snowboarding during wrestling season here. Like, they couldn't do anything dangerous. And actually, when he's in season, he will not be doing any of that. They don't allow it. The boys get in trouble.
Are you hiding the little black dress over there?
What?
Should I do another one boho? I'll
Yeah.
do another one boho, so we at least have a pair.
Yeah. Cartsimile Tanya says they're 10 foot tall and bulletproof at that age. I know.
Yeah.
I'm married to his father. I know.
Yeah, Jamie knew me when I was that age.
For our Underground Railroad, we have not calculated that yet, Jane, but we will talk about that on Saturday. I'll get that all figured out. Why do I use a heat gun? Jillian, I use a heat gun because we don't have a lot of time for it to dry. Also, the heat gun with the milk paint gets it to crackle and chip pretty good. And if it had like a finish on it, then it would chip automatically, but this is raw wood. So sometimes raw wood needs a little help with the milk paint to get it to crackle and chip. If you see this paint candlestick right here with a chippy paint that actually looks legit old, that's because we use milk paint and a heat gun. But a lot of times you're going to see us using a heat gun just because we want it to dry quick.
Yeah, we're trying to get it dry during the time the video has.
Danny Lyons, do I watch his matches? Absolutely. I actually told Zeb he should put together a compilation video of me responding to Harrington's matches.
So we have Harrington wrestling out on the mat, and then you have Jamie also wrestling out on the mat, but by herself on the side.
And then when he pins them, I'm like, it was worse at state because there was a lot on the line. You know, how you place in state is all the college offers that you get. And he had an injury, and he had lost a match already, so it's double elimination. And the match that he won that put him into medal contention was very intense. He had barely beat this guy before. The guy was the third place state champion from the year before. In triple overtime, he barely beat him before. And so I was very nervous because it was just a very slim chance. And when Harrington, so Harrington's a big guy, right? So pinning is not easy. Usually it winds up being in points. When Harrington flipped him over and finally pinned him, I was like shaking at that point. And I'm like, shaking, crying.
She started crying.
And that wasn't even like his last match, but it was the one that guaranteed that he would place and be, get a medal. Anyways, this mom came to me afterwards. She's like, watching you made me cry to see how much you love your boy. And I'm like, it's true, I do. We don't always see eye to eye, but I love that boy. So I told Zeb, I said it would be fun to make a compilation video of his matches for him. So when we have time, we'll put that together. Harrington's probably embarrassed on the other end with his mom losing her crap. But wrestling is very intense.
Well, he's very reserved. He doesn't show a lot of emotion, whether excitement or like sadness or anything like in defeat. So if you get a rise out of him in any way, you've done something pretty phenomenal.
Well, his match before the last match, he had already been guaranteed a place. This guy was targeting his arm, like punching his arm, and had hurt it, and he was wincing in pain. I almost jumped over the railing, and that boy almost got a piece of Harrington's mama. And the referee was like, we'll just disqualify him and you'll win. And Harrington's like, and the referee told him, no matter what, you win this match because he keeps targeting your arm. And Harrington was on an adrenaline high, and he got super mad, and he's like, nope, I'm going to win by pinning him. So we let him back in with a super injured arm, and Harrington pinned that kid. But then, in his next match of state, when he was playing for third place, the adrenaline was gone, and he could have totally creamed that kid before, but his injury was too bad. So it was a bummer. I still don't like that kid that targeted his arm. He's a punk. And if he's watching this, I said so.
I think they're actually friends.
They are. Well, I don't know if they're friends after that. Like, and the thing is, he's the kid who the year before had dislocated his elbow.
Same. It was like it's like his signature move. He like punches the elbow to break you down.
Yeah. I'm gonna send that kid the MRI bill. All right. Can you just stress it? Look, it's like
bubbling in the back.
Bubbling out.
All right. So this is just straight up bohemian blue.
All right, this one you can distress.
And then this one has little black dress underneath. Chippy and good. Got the good crackle on there. And then this one is the boho blue underneath. Can you hand me a new piece of paper?
Dad, did your new teeth hurt? We don't have time to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I got numbed up and it was fine. He
had to stop when he had his temporary done.
Well,
he had to stop working early because his mouth, and I had to take Eliza
I didn't
to chair.
stop working early.
Yeah, the next morning you told me you have to take Eliza to chair because it feels like somebody punched me.
Well, that's just because my lip was still fat.
So he says it didn't, but it did.
It was a nice excuse to keep sleeping in.
I think you got some boho blue on that other white.
I might have with my hand.
Yeah, Caitlin and Odelia are first cousins. Because Caitlin's mom is my oldest sister. And she's actually close. Caitlin's mom is closer in age to our mother than she is to me. What did Tanya say? Caitlin, my last two babies are 14 months apart, boy and girl. Mind you, Millie will give Carter a run for his money. I've seen that happen. Jack can give Redrick a run for his money. Although now that Redrick also wrestles, he's learned a few maneuvers. And he totally picked Jack up the other day and pinned him, and Jack's yelling, do it again, do it again. I'm like, oh gosh. Jack luckily hasn't started wrestling, but if he picks that up, I feel like we're gonna need a padded room for them. A yellow over black chips would look good on a candlestick. That would be pretty.
Still got some wet spots.
I'm trying, oh, you missed the whole spot, that's all right. I'll cover it with white paint. I'm trying to get this bohemian all the way dry so I can finish this one.
Well, we can show them this one.
It's all right, because Cam is here, so I'm going to get Cam going on finishing these.
I'm gonna go set this down to sand
Or
the base,
Lauren.
but just wanted to show you guys how it just chips off. Everywhere there's a little crackle, when you sand it, you get like that authentic kind of crackly, chippy look.
Oh, it must be 11 o'clock. I'm hearing the front door.
Front door is open. Come on in and shop.
Come on in, buy all the things. We put out fall in the store. If you guys are not local, you can go to JamiRayVintageHome.com. In our holiday collection, we have some really cute fall signs.
These will also, we got enough of these. I'll make some more bases. We'll probably have a bunch of these up on the home website.
Oh yeah, and we already have, Camry already made some signs, and we already got some of the signs that she made from old fencewood up. She used some of the JRV stencils. So we've got some of those up there. So all kinds of homemade stuff. So you can go to JamiRayVintage.com if you want to buy the paint products that we use. But if you want to just buy the stuff already done, we carry that at Jami Ray Vintage Home. And I might, depending on how many we get done, I might offer some of these for sale unfinished, without the bases, just the balusters, and then people can do their own projects with them. We'll see. Lori says she's waiting for her stencils. Woot woot! We have some new ones coming out.
I was
soon.
about to say, are we telling people we got new stencils coming out for fall?
We have new stuff. Well, we have our new holiday and fall winter release coming. So I actually have some already being shipped to me, but I have to use all the stencils and make sure they work well for sizes.
Yeah, the proofs are on their way to us, so that usually
I'm
means
super
we're about
excited.
2 or 3 weeks out from having them to you guys.
And we have some builder stencils, which means you layer them to build up a design. So exciting. Oh, Delia, I think they're here to pick you up.
I think without yelling that they'll probably knock and come in.
I don't know. Sorry. I get so comfortable. It's like I'm just at home hanging out with my friends. Also, one of the cool things is all of our stencils will have our logo now engraved on them. So it may take a little while for the retailers to get them, but the ones coming out will have them.
Okay, so we have Bohemian Blue underneath, Little Black Dress underneath, and then Flour Sack in Sweet Pickins is on the top, and that's, the Sweet Pickins is the chippy magic on that.
And the DIY is the pigmented base. So these two play very well together. Make sure you're hitting up JamiRayVintage.com for the paint products used here today. And Jami Ray Vintage Home for clothing and home decor. Some of the clothing that is really popular is starting to sell down, and I'm not going to restock everything. So if you've been waiting, make sure you're hitting that up because it's free shipping. So you can buy it as you want to. I'm going to get this finished here. All right, guys, we love you. Thanks for all your prayers for everybody in surgery. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Hit that share button. It'll copy the link. You can paste it in an email, text, or on Facebook. Helps us out a ton. And subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
And don't forget the notifications bell so you never miss a video. We will see you tomorrow, Thursday, 4 o'clock for the Stay at Home Shopping Network.
You have black paint all over you.